Hello friends, myself Vikas Shakya. I welcome you all on the channel Varteta Learning Platform. Yes, now it's Varteta Learning Platform. Earlier the name used to be VVSAORG. So from today onwards we have modified the name of our channel. It will be now Varteta Learning Platform. So share this information with all your friends to whom you used to share the videos from VVSAORG earlier, and now the name will be Varteta Learning Platform. So today, as we know that we are into the Python series, so today we will discuss about the tuples in Python. What are the tuples? And along with the tuples, I would like to discuss the fix of the problem that we were discussing in the last video, where we tried to find out the value of a postfix expression using the lists, where we were using the pop operation, where we were using the list as a stack, right? So we will see the fix of that problem, why was that problem coming, and then we will study about the tuples. But before that, I would like to show you something about the tuples. I would like to give you some brief idea about the tuples. So let's move ahead. So what are tuples? Tuples are same like lists, but they are immutable list of items. In case of list, you can modify the value of an item inside a list at a particular index, and you can do other things like you can extend your list, you can append the new list at the end of the list, right? So these kind of things you can do with the list, but with the tuples you cannot do this, right? So what are the similarities with the list? What are the operations which are same as list? That you can perform the slice, you can access the tuples in the same way as you used to access the list. And then we have the functions count and index. These are same as for list, right? Functions that you use to find the count of a particular type of value that was used for the count, and the other was the index, like what is the index of a particular value inside the list. Same function can be used for the tuples as well, right? But what you cannot do, what are the exceptions compared to list? When you use list and when you use tuples, what is the difference, right? So differences are listed under the exceptions. The first is you need to initialize using the parenthesis rather than the brackets, right? So you used to initialize the list using these brackets, but to initialize a tuple you need to use the parenthesis. You cannot extend, you cannot append, and also no remove or pop operations as well allowed on the tuples. Why? Because they are immutable in all sense, right? So modification of value is also not possible, right? So with this we proceed further with the code, we proceed further with the IDE, where we will see something happening. Okay, so let's move ahead. Let me open the program that we were discussing last video. So this was the program that we were discussing in last video. So when we ran this program, this postfix expression using 4 5 plus 2 asterisk, the value should come out to be 18, right? 4 plus 5 9 into 2 18, and this is the postfix form of this expression. This is the infix form, this is the postfix form. So for this infix form, this is the postfix, and the result would come out to be 18, right? It should come out to be 18, but in case of this operation, when we perform this, we got the result 8. So again, I would like to show you that it was coming as 8, right? So this is the result 8, which is coming here, right? So let me just remove all the unnecessary stuff, and then run it, and you will get the result as 8, right? This was 8, it should come as 18. So why it is coming as 8, why not 18? Before that, I would like to show you something. For that, I would like to open the shell. Let me open the shell. Where is the shell? Yes, Python shell inside the run, right? So here I would like to show you a few things. Suppose you have a list. This is the way you declare a list. And then in the list, to add some values, you can either use append, you can either use extend, you can either use or you can use the insert, right? So here I would like to tell you something about the append and extend functions. What is the difference among these two? Suppose if you use append, extend, which we have used, right? We used extend, and we provided a string 18, right? We have provided a string 18 and this has been inserted into the list. And now we want to print this. Print and then X. Then you will be able to see that when we insert a string, then each character of the string is separated by the comma. I mean, each character is an element of the list, not the entire string, right? So what we will do, and that's why here you are getting the wrong result. The result is getting stored as 18. This is not a problem. The result is coming as 18, but because of this extend function, you are getting this 1 and 8. And since you are popping out the last element as per the algorithm, so you are getting 8. That's why it is coming as 8, right? But what we should do now to fix it? The fix is to use the extend, rather than extend function, you should use the append function, right? If you do append and then you see this print x, then what will happen? This 18 will be stored as a complete value, right? So if you have to fix this problem, what you need to do, list, uh, rather than extend, you need to use append, append. And now let's run it, save it, yes, and run it. Then you can see now the result is coming as 18, right? So it's better to use append everywhere in this program, right? So in this program, what I have taken, like I have taken a value which is a single digit to evaluate the expression, but sometimes it may happen that it can be 1 4, it can be 15. Then what you will do? So for that, can you let me know, or can you create a program on your own, that what kind of modifications you need to do in your program so that that particular thing works, right? So that would be an exercise for you, and that you can do on yourself, with yourself, right? So this is all about the previous problem, and that's the assignment for you, so you can do that. Somewhere down the line I will discuss that problem as well, right? So till then you try that program yourself. And now we should move ahead with our today's topic, which is uh, tuples, right? So as I told you, tuples are immutable list of items. You cannot change any value, you cannot extend it, you cannot append anything, right? So if we are using list, then in case of list, suppose this is the list x. X was a list, not x. X was a list, but I need to provide some more values so that I can see something. I initialize it once again. X is equal to 12, 23. Now I need to print x, right? So if we have to modify the value at index 1, then what I will do, x1 is equal to 90, then this will be modified. If you run this, it will come as 1290, but it cannot be done with the tuples. So let's see how we can use the tuples. I told you that if you have to initialize a tuple, then you need to give this, the parenthesis, not this. If you will give this, then this will not be a tuple, it will be a list rather. So to initialize a tuple, you need to give t1 is equal to 12, 13, and same way you can provide any type of values. Right here, I would like to provide one double value as well, 12.90, and let's print this, print t1, and you can see 12, 23, a 12.9. Okay, so this is the way you can do this, but can we access the elements the same way we were using we used to do in case of list? Yes, you can do that. So if you write like this, you will be able to see the value 12. If you do like t1 -1, -2, -3, -4, -4, then also you will get 12. The indexing mechanism is again the same, just like in case of list. You start from here 0, 1, 2, 3, and if you count it from the end, then it will be -1, -2, -3, and -4, right? So all the things are same as list, right? The differences we are studying here. Other thing that you can do is the slicing. If I want to slice the value so that I can get only 23 and a, then what I will do, t1, let me print it, print t1, and slicing is also same. You need to provide the square bracket, not the parenthesis, when you are slicing a tuple. That you need to remember. If you are slicing a tuple, then you need to use the same method that you used to do in case of lists, right? So it's T1. Suppose I want to take the first element, and from there I would like to take up to here 23 and a. Then what I will do, I will give starting from 1, index is 1, and then I need to give 3. Why? Because when you give 3, then third element will not be included. It will include only these two. You need to remember it from the video where we used to do the same thing with the list, and it used to exclude the last item. So if I give 1 3 and then print it, then it will give me 23 and a, right? Same way we can use the negative value of index, like -1, -2, -3. So I need to give it to -3 and then 3. Then what it will give to me, then it will again give to 23 and a. Okay, so it will give us 23 and a. Okay, so there was another variation of slicing. What was that? T1 first index, the first thing which used to be index. I don't need to give the index. Then I need to provide just the number of elements. Then it will pick the items from the beginning, and how many items it will pick? 2 items, right? So it should pick 2 items from the beginning. So it's 12 and 23, right? Next variation was print T1, and what was that? Don't you provide the index, right, from where you need to start. So suppose I want to start from here, I mean the index 1, and I would like to see all the elements in my sliced, all the other elements sliced. So what it will give? 23a and 12.9. So what I have done here, I have given the index from where I need to slice, and if I don't give anything after the colon, then it means that entire list, rest of the items, they need to be included in the sliced tuple, right? So this is the sliced tuple. So these were the four variations of slicing. So slicing, I think, is done. It's just a revision. It's nothing like there is no difference from the list. So I'm just doing a revision for you in case of tuples. Okay, so apart from this, you cannot use any remove or append method. If you press control space, then you will be able to see that there is one item count, one function count, and the other function is index. So using the count, what we do, we just use to count a particular value, that how many times it has occurred. So if I write 23, then it will come 1, because 23 is a value which came once in this tuple, right? So apart from this, there was index. So let's see what index does. If I provide a here, then what it will give? It will give me the index of that particular value in the tuple. So it's 0, 1, 2, right? So this is the way you can use the list, the tuple, in the same way you used to use the list, right? But now we will discuss another feature which tuple can do and list cannot, right? Suppose I have to provide a set of variables and I have to provide a set of values. I have to initialize all those variables using some set of values. Then what we can use the tuple. Suppose I have some values, val is equal to 12, 12, a, and 14.90. We have created a val, a set of values, and then I have provided some variables, suppose x, y, z, and I want to give the values to these variables. Then if I give like this, is equal to val, xyz is equal to val, then the values will be assigned to xyz. I mean, x will have 12, y will have a, and z will have 14.90. So let's see, x is 12, y is a, and z is 14.9, right? So this is the way you can use tuple. And another use of tuple is like you can create a tuple, since it's immutable, so you can create a tuple having the values which can be used as keys, right? Just like when we will use dictionary or when we use maps, in that case you used to do the key value pair storage, right? So in that case it can be very useful to store the set of keys which will be unique, because you cannot change any value you cannot change. Suppose you want to change the value inside the T1 for at a particular index, T1 0 is equal to 900, then it will give you an exception. This is my T1. This was the tuple which I declared, which I used, and then I'm trying to do something like I'm trying to modify the value at index 0, and I'm trying to give a new value to this index, and it's 900, but it will not allow me because tuple is an immutable set of objects, immutable set of items. Okay, so apart from this, what else you can do with this feature? With this feature, you can provide values, as we discussed. But in some case, if you want, like in program, like if you are writing a program where it can be a situation that you decide some values to be there, which are constant, which cannot be changed, which are immutable, but at some point of time, due to some reason, due to some requirement, you need that particular tuple to become a list. I mean, you want that particular tuple to behave like a list where you can provide some new values, you can extend the values, and then you want to convert it back to the tuples, right? It may happen, right? Suppose you have a set of keys, and in the middle of your program, you get one new key, right? And you are storing all the keys in the tuple. So what you will do, you need to add that particular key to the tuple. So for the time being, you need to you would like your tuple to behave like a list so that you can provide that particular key. And after that, you will again convert it back to the tuple so that keys no one should modify the keys, right? So let's see how we can do that. So there are two things we can perform with the tuples and lists. Exactly the one thing, not two things. There are two operations. The operations are tuple to list conversion and list to tuple conversion. So you can perform the operation of converting a tuple to a list in case you want some modification in the values which have been provided inside a tuple, and then if you want to convert it back to a tuple which should not be modifiable anymore, then in that case you can convert it back to a tuple, right? So suppose I have taken a tuple t1, right? Now I want to make it a list. So I have given L1 as a list, and then I will use list, and then I will give the tuple name. So list T1. If I give the list name, if I give the name T1, then all the values inside the tuple, they will be assigned to L1, right? So now with the L1, if I print L1, then you can see all these values are there. And if I want to add some element at the end of this list, then what I will do, I'm using extend here. So I'm providing 199, one value to this list. Okay, why it's not giving me? Extend can only be used with the strings, not with the integers. So I need to provide it like this. Or you need to provide like this. So now it will work. So if I print L1 now, then it became like 12, 23, A, 12.9, and 199 is added to the end. Now I want it to convert back to tuple, right? At this point of time, if you will try to print T1, then T1 don't have that value 199. But I want that T1 should contain the value 199, and then it should become immutable, right? So if you want to make it immutable, then surely we need a tuple. So what we will do, we will convert our new list L1 back to T1. I mean, we are creating a new tuple and assigning it to T1. So what I will do, T1 is equal to tuple tuple, and you will give the name of the list L1, right? So last time we used list function to convert a tuple to a list, and to convert a list to a tuple, we are using a function named tuple, right? So now T1 will be a new tuple where 199 will be stored, but now you cannot do anything with the value 199 and you cannot modify it. So let's print the tuple T1. Now you can see 1223, A, 12.9, and 199. All these things are available, right? So this was all about the tuples, and you can do your own programming. You can think of anything you want to write as a program and just practice it. And I will soon meet you with you guys in the next video. And till then, I would like to request you that please like my channel, please like this video, please subscribe my channel, press the notification button, and share this video with all your friends who are enthusiastic about the Python. Okay, so till then, have a very nice day. We will meet soon again. Bye bye.